Number 10. Low-fat processed snacks. They sit on grocery shelves wrapped in bright colors, whispering promises of light, fit, and healthy. The low-fat snack craze was born from a myth. That fat was the enemy, and removing it would make us both slimmer and saner. But behind that shiny label hides a quiet psychological saboteur. When manufacturers strip natural fats from foods, they strip away flavor and satisfaction too. And to compensate, they load those snacks with sugar, refined carbs, and chemical stabilizers that hijack your brain's reward circuitry. Here's what happens inside. Normally, healthy fats slow digestion and signal fullness through hormones like leptin. But low-fat processed snacks, think fat-free cookies, chips, or cereal bars, flood your system with quick sugar hits. Blood glucose spikes, insulin rushes in, and soon after, your brain experiences a crash that mimics emotional withdrawal. The result? Irritability, fogginess, anxious restlessness. Over time, this roller coaster desensitizes your dopamine pathways, the same system that regulates motivation and mood stability. Your mind starts craving constant stimulation. Another snack, another bite, another distraction. Meanwhile, your gut microbiome, one of the biggest influences on serotonin, starves because those refined carbs feed the wrong bacteria. So, while your conscious mind believes you're eating clean, your body is fighting invisible chaos, unstable blood sugar, gut imbalance, and depleted neurotransmitter production. The paradox is haunting. In the pursuit of lightness, we've traded mental steadiness for volatility. The brain doesn't need less fat, it needs the right fat. Omega-3s, from nuts, seeds, avocados, olive oil. These nourish neural membranes, improve mood resilience, and stabilize emotional energy. So next time you see low fat glowing in bold letters, remember, what's missing from the label is what your mind needs most. Number 9. Excessive protein bars with sugar alcohols. They look like the perfect solution, compact, powerful, and fit approved. The modern protein bar is marketed as brain fuel, post-workout recovery, even breakfast on the go. But peel away the shiny metallic wrapper, and what you'll often find is not nutrition. It's neurochemical confusion. Many of these bars are laced with sugar alcohols like maltitol, erythritol, or sorbitol, sweeteners that trick your taste buds while quietly disturbing your mind and gut in ways you'd never suspect. Here's the hidden story. Sugar alcohols are only partially digested by your body. The rest travels to your gut, where bacteria ferment them, releasing gases and inflammatory compounds. This fermentation doesn't just cause bloating, it alters the delicate gut-brain axis. Inflammation in your intestines sends distress signals through the vagus nerve straight to the brain, creating cycles of anxiety, irritability, and mental fatigue. It's why you can feel oddly restless or foggy even after eating something healthy. And then there's the sweet deception. When your tongue tastes sweetness, your brain expects glucose, its preferred energy source. But sugar alcohols don't deliver that energy payoff. Your hypothalamus, confused, releases hunger hormones like ghrelin and reduces serotonin signaling. You feel unsatisfied, edgy, craving more stimulation, a state of constant low-grade agitation. Over time, this mismatch between taste and energy disrupts your reward calibration. You start seeking more sweetness, more hits, but each one leaves your neurotransmitters a little more unbalanced. The body feels cheated, the mind feels restless. What was meant to be fuel becomes friction between body chemistry and brain chemistry. The truth? Your mind doesn't need zero sugar. It needs steady glucose from whole foods, oats, fruits, grains, that feed your neurons without the metabolic deceit. So next time you unwrap a protein bar that boasts no sugar, no guilt, remember, your brain knows when it's being lied to. Number 8. Fruit juices marketed as natural. The word natural glows like a halo on the bottle. Sunshine in a label, purity in a sip. You twist the cap, taste the sweetness, and feel almost virtuous. After all, it's just fruit, right? Nature's nectar, liquid wellness. But what's really flowing through that bottle isn't nature, it's chemistry. The modern natural fruit juice is a masterclass in psychological illusion. It makes you believe you're nourishing your mind while secretly destabilizing it. Here's why. In real fruit, sugar comes locked inside fiber, a slow-release system that keeps your blood sugar balanced. But in commercial juice, the fiber is stripped away, leaving behind pure, concentrated fructose. One glass of 100% natural orange juice can hit your bloodstream like a soda, causing an immediate glucose surge. The brain loves this rush. Dopamine spikes, mood lifts, but minutes later, the inevitable crash hits, dragging down serotonin and cognitive stability. You feel suddenly low, tired, even irritable. and you reach for another sip. This constant sugar-high chase rewires emotional regulation. The hippocampus, responsible for memory and mood balance, becomes inflamed over time by repeated fructose floods. Studies now link excessive fruit juice consumption to brain fog, depressive symptoms, and even reduced learning performance, not because of toxins, but because the brain is drowning in sugar cycles while starving for fiber and micronutrients. And the word natural? It's the most abused term in food marketing. Those cold-pressed, freshly squeezed, or vitamin-enriched claims distract from the truth. Your mind is being bathed in a nutrient illusion. Even the no added sugar label doesn't save it. Fructose, when isolated, hits your liver and brain with the same metabolic chaos as candy. If you want fruit to heal your mood, eat it whole. Let your body chew, digest, and extract the calm rhythm nature intended. But when fruit becomes liquid candy in a bottle labeled natural, it doesn't feed your brain. It fools it. Number 7. Flavored yogurts full of hidden sugar. It looks innocent. Pastel cup, smiling fruits, maybe a swirl of vanilla or honey. The label screams probiotic power and gut-friendly goodness. You peel the lid, take a spoonful, and feel like you're doing something good for your brain. But what if that creamy comfort is quietly dismantling the very system it promises to heal? Flavored yogurts are one of the most deceptive foods in the modern diet, a psychological placebo disguised as health. The trick lies in perception management. Yogurt is culturally coded as clean, light, even therapeutic. But many flavored versions contain more sugar than a dessert, sometimes up to 6 teaspoons per serving. That sugar doesn't just affect your waistline, it scrambles your brain chemistry. Excess glucose triggers a surge of insulin, followed by a drop in blood sugar that mimics mild withdrawal. During this crash, cortisol rises, focus fades, and your emotional baseline dips. You feel drained, anxious, maybe even slightly guilty. So you reach for another healthy snack, completing the loop of biochemical manipulation. Then comes the gut-brain twist. High sugar environments feed harmful bacteria and yeast, crowding out the beneficial microbes that produce serotonin precursors and GABA, neurotransmitters responsible for calmness and clarity. You think you're nurturing your gut, but in reality, you're training it to send distress signals to your brain. This can manifest as mood swings, low motivation, or subtle mental haze. Even the fruit pieces floating inside the yogurt are often candied or syrup-soaked, amplifying the damage under the guise of natural sweetness. Meanwhile, the probiotics, if they even survive pasteurization, are too few to counteract the sugar-fueled chaos. Real yogurt should taste slightly tart, alive, fermented, not like dessert. Your brain thrives on microbial balance, not manufactured sweetness. So the next time you dip your spoon into a flavored yogurt, remember, it's not feeding your peace of mind, it's feeding your cravings. Number 6. Excessive soy products messing hormones. Soy, the humble bean once praised as the miracle of modern nutrition. High in protein, low in fat, vegan-friendly, heart-healthy. It's in your tofu, your plant milk, your protein shakes, even your supplements. But what the glossy labels never mention is how too much soy can quietly tinker with one of the most delicate systems in your body, your hormones, and by extension, your mental health. Here's the core problem. Soy contains phytoestrogens, plant compounds that mimic estrogen, the hormone that regulates mood, energy, and cognition in both men and women. In small, balanced amounts, phytoestrogens can be beneficial, but excessive intake, especially from ultra-processed soy protein isolates, textured soy chunks, or soy-based drinks, floods your system with estrogen-like signals. This confuses your endocrine system, which controls everything from serotonin production to sleep cycles. When this hormonal harmony breaks, subtle chaos follows. Men may experience lowered testosterone and reduced dopamine motivation. Women might feel mood instability, fatigue, or foggy thinking due to disrupted estrogen-progesterone balance. On a deeper level, the hypothalamus, your brain's hormonal command centers, starts receiving mixed messages, blurring the line between hunger, emotion, and stress. You don't just feel off, your body's rhythm itself goes out of tune. And the danger is quiet because soy hides everywhere. It's in protein bars, healthy snacks, plant meats, infant formulas, even cooking oil blends. Add them up, and you're consuming the hormonal equivalent of a constant whisper that rewires your emotional baseline without you realizing it. But soy isn't evil, it's misunderstood. Fermented forms like tempeh, miso, or natto carry natural enzymes that neutralize phytoestrogen overload and even benefit gut bacteria, which stabilizes mood. The real harm lies not in tradition, but in excess and industrialization. So next time you sip that third soy latte or stack your plate with mock meat, ask yourself, is it nourishment or hormonal noise disguised as health? Number 5. Artificial sweeteners and mood swings. They promise sweetness without the guilt, a modern miracle of chemistry. 0 calories, 0 sugar, diabetic friendly. a packet of pink, blue, or yellow powder that seems to offer indulgence without consequence. But inside your brain, these artificial sweeteners, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, are far from harmless. They're emotional tricksters, quietly rewriting the way your mind perceives reward, pleasure, and stability. When you taste sweetness, your brain releases dopamine, anticipating energy from incoming glucose. But artificial sweeteners deliver the flavor without the fuel. Your brain feels betrayed. Dopamine rises but never gets the closure it expects. Over time, this mismatch dulls your natural reward sensitivity, leaving you craving stronger stimulation to feel normal. You might find yourself more irritable, impulsive, or restless, the same way an addict feels between hits. Aspartame, one of the most common sweeteners, goes even deeper. When it breaks down, it releases compounds that interfere with serotonin and dopamine synthesis, the very neurotransmitters responsible for mood balance. Some studies link long-term consumption with increased anxiety, insomnia, and depressive symptoms. You think you're being disciplined, choosing diet soda instead of sugary drinks, but the result is biochemical chaos disguised as self-control. And the gut doesn't escape untouched. Artificial sweeteners alter your microbiome composition, reducing the diversity of beneficial bacteria and encouraging strains that thrive on artificial compounds. Since your gut produces nearly 90% of your serotonin, that disruption echoes directly in your emotional state. Flatness, irritability, or sudden mood dips that seem to come from nowhere. The irony is painful. In trying to escape sugar's mental crash, we invented something that mimics sweetness but robs it of meaning. The brain, wired for authenticity, can't be fooled forever. True mental clarity doesn't come from tricking your taste buds. It comes from harmony between what your body tastes, absorbs, and trusts. Number 4. Too much energy drink consumption. They promise power in a can. Lightning bolts, flames, roaring slogans. Unleash the beast. Fuel your focus. Awaken your mind. But beneath that neon adrenaline rush, energy drinks are quietly draining the very system they claim to charge. Each can is a biochemical illusion, a false sunrise for your brain that leaves behind only darkness, tremors, and depletion. At first sip, caffeine, taurine, and guarana flood your bloodstream. Your adrenal glands ignite, pumping cortisol and adrenaline, the same hormones that prepare you for danger. Heart rate rises, focus sharpens, and for a moment, you feel alive. But this alertness isn't energy. It's borrowed survival chemistry. The brain, jolted into fight or flight, starts burning through dopamine and serotonin reserves, the neurotransmitters responsible for calmness and contentment. As the high fades, the crash arrives. Fogginess, irritability, anxiety. You crave another can just to return to baseline. Over time, this pattern rewires your reward system, teaching your mind that stimulation equals safety. Eventually, even rest feels wrong. Silence becomes uncomfortable, peace feels boring. That's not energy anymore. That's dependency. And the damage doesn't stop at your nerves. The massive sugar loads in many energy drinks spike your blood glucose, leading to inflammation in the hippocampus, the memory and mood center of the brain. Combine that with chronic sleep disruption from late-night caffeine hits, and your circadian rhythm collapses. You start waking up tired, wired, and emotionally flat, a cycle that feels like burnout, even when you're sitting still. The cruelest twist is psychological. Energy drinks don't make you powerful. They make you forget what natural power feels like. True energy comes from consistent sleep, balanced minerals, slow-burning carbs, and calm neural rhythms, not from cans that hijack your stress response. So the next time you grab that can to push through, remember, it doesn't charge you. It rents your future focus at double interest. Number 3. Gluten substitutes that spike sugar. The world has gone gluten-free, or so the packaging tells you. Bread without bread, pasta without wheat, cookies made from ancient grains and superflours. You feel like you're making the mindful choice. Lighter, cleaner, safer for your gut and your mind. But behind that golden label of wellness lies a strange paradox. Many gluten-free foods are metabolic grenades disguised as salvation. Here's the twist. When food makers remove gluten, they need to recreate its chewy, comforting texture, the thing that makes bread feel like bread. To do that, they often add refined starches like tapioca, rice flour, potato starch, and corn syrup solids. These ingredients have an even higher glycemic index than white bread, flooding your bloodstream with glucose in minutes. Your body thinks it's being nourished, but your brain experiences chaos, a sugar surge followed by an emotional dip that mimics anxiety, brain fog, and even mild depression. And it doesn't end there. These refined gluten substitutes bypass the slow-digesting fibers found in whole grains, starving your gut bacteria of their favorite food, prebiotic fiber. Without it, the microbiome loses diversity and serotonin production drops. the gut-brain connection weakens, leading to lower emotional resilience and slower cognitive response. It's the silent price of feeling light. Then comes the psychological trap. When people eat gluten-free, they assume it's automatically healthier, so they consume more of it, bigger portions, more snacks, more frequency. The brain equates the label with virtue, but the bloodstream sees only sugar chaos. Over time, that constant fluctuation erodes mental clarity and amplifies fatigue. The truth is simple but inconvenient. Going gluten-free can be healing only when done with real, fiber-rich alternatives: quinoa, buckwheat, amaranth, or millet. But the ultra-processed gluten-free world, it's not clarity, it's chemical confusion packaged as purity. So the next time you see gluten-free shining on a box, ask yourself, is it freedom for your gut or just a prettier form of sugar for your mind? Number 2. Overeating nuts or seeds without balance. They're small, earthy, and sacred to the wellness world. Almonds for brain power, chia for omega-3s, flax for digestion, walnuts for memory. Every list of superfoods praises them as mental gold. And yes, nuts and seeds are rich in nutrients. But when eaten in excess, their hidden chemistry can start to weigh down the mind they were meant to nourish. Because even nature's gifts, when unbalanced, can turn into burdens. Here's the science most people overlook. Nuts and seeds are dense in omega-6 fatty acids, essential fats that, in small amounts, support brain function. But when consumed excessively, especially without balancing them with omega-3 sources like flaxseed oil or fatty fish, they fuel inflammation in the brain. This inflammation doesn't scream or hurt, it whispers. It dulls focus, heightens irritability, amplifies anxious thoughts, and makes your emotions feel heavier than they should. Your brain's membranes are made of fat. The wrong ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 changes their flexibility, slowing neurotransmitter movement and blurring mood regulation. You might find yourself feeling foggy or overstimulated without realizing your healthy snacking habit is part of the cause. Add to that the overload of phytates and oxalates, natural compounds found in raw nuts and seeds that, in excess, bind minerals like zinc and magnesium. Both are crucial for serotonin and GABA balance. Without them, your nervous system becomes more reactive, your sleep more restless, your calm more fragile. It's not about demonizing almonds or sunflower seeds. It's about remembering that nutrition is symphony, not solo. A handful a day enriches you. Handfuls every hour unbalance you. So the next time you unconsciously munch through half a bag of healthy trail mix, pause. Your body doesn't just digest food, it digests information, chemistry, and balance. Even nature whispers moderation. Number 1. Excessive caffeine disguised as wellness drinks. It starts innocently. A sleek bottle that says focus, clean energy, plant-powered. Maybe it's matcha-infused water, green tea sparkling tonic, mushroom coffee, or adaptogenic elixir. It feels sophisticated, a far cry from the jittery chaos of regular coffee. But beneath the minimalist label and earthy aesthetic, many wellness drinks hide one familiar chemical in deceptive doses: caffeine. And in your brain, caffeine doesn't energize, it manipulates. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine, the neurotransmitter that tells your brain when to rest. The result is a temporary illusion of clarity. Neurons fire faster, adrenaline rises, and your mood lifts. But this isn't true energy, it's borrowed alertness. Behind the curtain, your nervous system is straining, your cortisol rising, your serotonin slowly depleting. And when the effect fades, your body demands repayment. With interest. You crash, you crave. You reach for another wellness boost. Over time, the brain adapts. It grows more adenosine receptors to fight the blockade, meaning you need more caffeine to feel normal. The line between focus and fatigue blurs. You wake up foggy, anxious, slightly detached, unaware that your healthy drink has quietly hijacked your natural rhythm of calm and alertness. What makes this deception dangerous is branding. Caffeine now wears yoga pants. It's disguised in kombucha, cacao tonics, green coffee extracts, and adaptogenic blends. Each one whispers, "I'm not like the others." But your neurons don't care how beautiful the label looks. They only know overstimulation and depletion. Real mental vitality doesn't come from blocking rest. It comes from respecting it. From sleep, hydration, minerals, sunlight, and breathing that actually replenishes you. The wellness industry sells focus, but the brain craves balance. So next time a plant-based energy elixir promises clarity, remember, true peace doesn't come from stimulating your mind, it comes from letting it finally rest.